Welcome back to 23 Minute Reads with me, Mya D. This is kind of like my virtual book club because in these 5 minute or so videos, I share with you my takeaways from my current reading. Right now, that is Undergraduate Research in Dance. As a part of my 23 to 23 challenge, I'm reading 23 minutes per day, every day, as an action of self love, as an investment into myself, and as a way of providing myself with some consistency in an ever changing world. Hoping that you will join me along in this journey by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and leaving some comments down there in that comment section so that there's an actual dialogue going on. Having in mind that while I have several decades of experience as an educator, as a curriculum writer, as a performer, I'm not the know-all be-all for this book. I'm simply providing a space for dialogue. Well, this is a new book, and I like to read from that very first page forward. So this week I read from the acknowledgments to page 24, and here are my takeaways. Let me get my notes. Takeaway number 1 is paying it forward. There are several authors of this book, including Gregory Young, Lynette Young Overby, and Jenny Olin Shanahan. The quote in the forward written by Shanahan reads, "It is critically important dancers destined to the arts, education, or business understand what we have learned from research in the past century, and equally important that they seek to contribute to the knowledge base of the next century." Research allows us to pay it forward. In the present, we benefit from the research that was done previously, and our research contributes to the future. Paying it forward is a way to reframe undergraduates' approach to research, right? Because I feel like it helps to steer them away from reporting. When asked to do research, it is easy for students to fall into the world of reporting, which is just regurgitating perspectives and information that's already known. But asking them to think of their research as adding to the collective research of the future is a way to say thank you for the benefits that they've received from the previous research, and a way to pay it forward. Takeaway number 2 is interrupting. Shanahan offers these really great metaphors in this book, and one of them is interrupting. Previous published literature around a matter is described as a conversation. The quote reads, "In other words, by conducting a review of the research literature, you avoid interrupting a conversation with stale opinions and irrelevant questions. Instead, you are knowledgeably participating in a discussion of an interesting topic with a group of scholars who deeply care about it. As an educator, we know that learning is measured by growth. But in order to measure growth, we have to ID where we are and assess our current position, right? You got to know where you're starting and then look at where you landed in order to measure that growth, and that growth being the learning process. Otherwise, you're just impeding and interrupting the progress if you're not clear about where your base is, where you started. So thinking of your literature review as a way of adding to the conversation rather than interrupting with ideas that have already been restated and not pushing the collective wisdom forward. Takeaway number 3 is sequence. One of the wonderful things about this book, and is noted in the first couple of pages, is that you don't have to read it from chapter 1 through to the last chapter. It's stated that this book should function as a guide, which I'm taking to mean that the reader can identify the gaps in their understanding of research and how to do research and dive into those specific places. Speaking of diving in, thank you for diving into this new book with me. I hope that you have liked. I hope that you dropped a comment down there, especially if that comment is a suggestion for a new book. Stay blessed, spread a good word, and I'll see you next week.